Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Zwift Community Live broadcast of Stage 1 of the ZRacing Series, Neokyo Nights. We are in the Sleepless City. It's going to be a fast crit courses, I think, throughout most of this Z racing. We got 112 starters in the B category we'll be covering. In the C category, we've got 188 starters. Massive packs across both of these. Dave, let's get right down into the racing. The boys and some gals, I believe, have gotten out on course, Dave, and they're out in the city of Neokyo for a wraparound of a whole lot of, I think, mainly flatlands out here today.
Yeah, there's not a significant amount of climbing, but there's going to be a significant amount of speed out here. I can't even imagine being in a 188 rider group. So there's definitely going to be interesting plays being made through the middle part of the race as well. Do we see any kind of a breakaway going away? It's I'm going to be anticipating a pretty good sized group making it to the finish line. So Sleepless City, Nathan, I have to admit, that's new to me. Sleepless City. We've been in Neokyo quite a bit through the years, but this is a course that looks like they found a really good crit course, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, a whole lot of crit-like racing, I think, that we are going to be seeing in Neokyo throughout the entirety of these stages. If you're new to the stage racing that is the Z Racing competition, it is every week, do as many races as you want to get the best time as you possibly can across all of the stages. You can always repeat a stage as each and every day that you want to, and as you get the better times, they do add up. Look at these sprints coming on through here. This is crazy. It's as if there's some sort of sprint point going on, but there's no sprint points. But it looks like in this B category, we've got a rider off the front here a little bit. This is going to be, let's see if I can get a name on this. RT Kaboom is the first one to go. It's going to be Hindemilt that's making a move toward the front there, coming out of Germany, looking to grab just it looks like some leaderboard kudos, I think, out here, Dave. Interesting enough. So if we can get an idea of what that sprint point was, I'll see if I can. As far as the time goes across it, but he's got 4 seconds, Dave. It's 3 kilometers in. We got 19K, a total of 83 meters of climbing. It's like pancake flat, actually. Actually, almost. I'm looking at this.
It really is,
and there isn't a whole lot to go with here. But Dave, with the new pack dynamics, there is a little bit of, sometimes if you're willing and you're able, you can make something happen with a really flat course. But Dave, with 112 guys chasing you, this is going to be a tough one. I mean, look at that pack behind him.
Yeah, that is a proper sized peloton as we come into one of the coolest sectors that we race in the entirety of Zwift here. It is really hard to keep track of even what direction you're going. We're about to watch the catch. Few riders getting tailed out the back. It is interesting that this is a GC type stage race that goes over a month. You do have a chance to find the fastest group if the group you're in just isn't on the gas that day. Aero and draft come into play, and it looks like we're back into team time trial mode right now for this group, Nathan, rotating off of the front after you take a big pull. I mean, 45 kilometers per hour here. They are going slightly downhill, but this is full tilt boogie that we're looking at here in our B peloton. We're going to jump in. You said 188 for the C's. This is 112 B's that we've got in the mix here. Aero and draft today, Nathan, the big two, I'd call them as well. Actually, 2 of the big 3 of the power-ups.
They took a right-hand turn, actually, interesting enough. This is a direction out of that little castle section that I'm not extremely familiar with taking immediately after that section, at least. They're going to be making their way over past the little pens that are over here near the turnoff that would take you over to Yurikazi, actually. So very interesting section of course here. I can maybe bring this up for everybody to take a look at in just a second here for what this map is actually like. It's kind of doing the everything downtown, and then after going through the downtown, you kind of make this little loop around the river section over here. A couple of KT making a move again, interesting enough. So really on the moves a lot here. I wonder if he's just looking to keep things as high as possible as far as the pace goes or not. Looking across. Go ahead, Dave.
I was going to say he likes it spicy. That's for sure. 4 stars if he's ordering Thai food I would say, keep it peppery up on the front. That's a cool look at the course. This kind of reminds me, I just was catching up on the Tour de France Japanese, the Saitama criterium that they had, uh, uh, exhibition event, I guess would be putting it kindly out there. But it certainly, this course reminds me of that super urban, and just it's nighttime here that we've got a look at our peloton. It's going to be a quick race as well. They're hauling out here at 5.3K in just 7 minutes to get there. So 19K of racing, 2 laps out on the circuit today.
Yeah, and all the way back in 61st place, you feel like you're at the front of the pack with how many riders are in this B category. The C category is starting to split up a little bit as well. We'll jump in with them in just a second. It's going to be Manalo here from OTR on the front, making the speed at 44 kilometers per hour. It's a little bit of a downhill here, which tells me they may have slowed down a tad, but 5 watts per kilogram here coming from the B category, right? That's some pretty good watts at 332, but 153 beats per minute. Not sure he's struggling too much at this point, taking his turn here, perhaps looking for the fastest time that they can get. That is always an interesting one, Dave, is it is almost like a chase race across multiple days in the week up against the other B categories that will take this on as well. They do show up with the most, though, a lot of times in this. This is the GC pack, we're being told here from KT, is letting us know that they're working for it. And I don't doubt it, Dave. I think this Monday slot, they really work for it, I think, together. Off the back, though, as you can see, people starting to get shelled, it looks like here, Dave, as well. Is this this is off the back. Yeah, interesting enough that as we're seeing 24, 23 seconds differentiation between them, but I think that's just a little bit of a mishap there in the reading next to them there, because we go back to these riders. This is definitely the front end, as again to the front, we've got somebody in a red jersey there, keeping things, the apex. I love the way that things apex out now in the new pack dynamics. They really give you an idea of how the riders are working if you're familiar with the way that a pack works when they're pushing at the front.
Yeah, I completely agree with that, Nathan. And when you look at this pack right now, they could not have the accelerator buried any further onto the floorboard than what they have here. I mean, this is a group that is motivated. I didn't notice who it was that made the comment about this being the GC group, but that is 100% correct. This group is fully committed now. I don't even see any reason, or actually, Nathan, the point of attacking out of this group right now. It doesn't really get you anywhere, to tell you the truth. Might as well just take your turn on the front, and the big roll through, the grind that they've got going is spot on.
Mm-hmm. Great to see lots of chat coming on in. They want to say hello to us, Dave. We got, it looks like Luis Secrera coming from the NTS in here, as well as Dwayne Dibley. Good to see you guys, Drumto, as well. Appreciate you over in chat. We always love to see the viewers that return often and have their opinions about what's happening out on course as well. We love to hear them. And looking through, looks like there are two, Dave, that are trying to make you eat your words a little bit here. Manalo said, no, look at this low, but like they're yelling at each other a little bit, though. Kaboom as well. And Dave, I think they heard you on broadcast and they thought, no, we're going to make a move, but the pack is proving you right.
Well, thank goodness I don't have many hats left to eat around here after last week's comment. So, but Nathan, isn't that what's awesome about our community, is the accountability? It holds for broadcasters as well, without any doubt. And hey, Lewis, good to see you joining us out here. So yeah, Nathan, I mean, the spirit of competition is alive and well, but the camaraderie is tremendous on Mondays. There's no doubt about that. And getting together for, at the end of the day, a good workout will be achieved by everybody out here racing, and somebody will have an opportunity, I'm going to guess, to win a field sprint, which is a tremendous feeling. But even just engaging in that is a tremendous feeling for our athletes here. Today, we're jumping in with the B's and the C's in our commitment to covering more categories. Nathan, that has really paid off, as we've made a whole bunch of new friends in our Zwift community here. So 7.2K into 19K. They're about to wrap up lap number one. Yanatso is the rider that we've got here in the front of the group. I'll tell you what, back at Zwift headquarters, Nathan, Pack Dynamics 4.1, it's not a home run. I'd call it a grand slam as far as things have sorted out over the last couple of months here. I feel like the racing has really leveled up.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it a lot too. And there's a big learning curve to it, I think, for some riders, and trying to figure out for me, especially even, I mean, I think for everybody, the changes are definitely ones that were at first eye-opening about the ways that it does function now. But it's what's really interesting to me is the way that you are able to work with other riders at this point. I think that is the main takeaway for me, not only in and amongst the break. It's not only about the breakaways, but it's really about being able, in my opinion, to work with riders and set riders up for different ways that they need to function together. And before, I think that update, the ability to do that was kind of lost a little bit, and some of the frustration might be, if there is any out there still, about how things are functioning, it might be a little bit of some leftover not seeing perhaps the way in which it forces people to work together. It forces, which in reality, Dave, isn't that really real bike racing? Trying to get away from a pack as a solo rider is just not really that often of a reality in road racing. It just doesn't happen very often.
100%. I mean, that really is the name of the game, is understanding when and where to apply your efforts and how to best conserve when you're not. And, that balance is really what makes cycling so compelling and interesting. I mean, you go back to when we first started broadcasting, Nathan, one of the original jokes was, this is not an exercise contest, right? And I think that still remains funny, to tell you the truth, because the mindset of, it's not who gets on their bike and works the hardest. It's like, yeah, obviously you have to have the ability, but it's the smartest rider, the one that's really mastered their craft, that wins more often than the rider that tries to apply brute force. And as a matter of fact, brute force more often than not, works against you in cycling, whether it's in real life or here in esports. So very well said, Nathan. Right now we got Nick, though, the Swedish rider with Zwift Play rolling here. And
talking about brute force, he's brute forcing it with Zwift Play right 100%. Now. Nobody's allowed on my wheel, full on the right. Now, this is how you don't make any friends, though. That's for sure. As he looks to not give anybody a wheel through those sections there.
It's that saying, are you with us or are you against us? Right?
Yeah.
Here, he's definitely not with us. I can tell you that much when he's attacking like that. And that's sort of the collective mindset of this peloton. Again, they're racing together as a group. Everyone benefits the faster they go as we make our way through the arcade here. But there's going to be, Nathan, the riders that are not here necessarily to worry about their GC time through the month. They showed up today. They wanted to get a good race in. They saw it was 112 or 188 riders, and they said, I'm going to show them what the champion standard is today. I'm going to win this field sprint, and I'm not going to play into their tactics. And that's one of the really interesting things about bike racing is, what is the mindset and the motivating factors for the riders that you've got? Are they here to win? Are they here to help somebody else win? You just never really know. We say fitness is like a building with no windows. You can't look inside an athlete and see what they've got. Well, same thing with desire.
Now, continually on the front, speaking of desire here, Manalo, Pearson, RT, all three of them, a couple others have started to get involved as well. And then you've got a pack just hanging out waiting for that sprint. 11.7 kilometers down. We're on to lap number 2. Nick's made a move again in the C category, though. So B category, it has been the OTR riders. OTR rider Manalo, we've seen RT on the front plenty, a few others, Pearson as well. But when they're not on the front, which is interesting, Dave, they roll back to get some rest, and then it kind of turns into that fanning out across the road when they're not there. So as you can see, Hoke here, WTC Roden, Hirsch as well, but they kind of back off a little bit on the front. Now, I think there is a little bit of you get some questioning as to whether or not you should be doing what you're doing. Like, is everybody else on the same page? Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
Are they
everyone's
taking
like,
advantage of me? Right.
exactly.
That's it.
Like,
Yeah,
those
and
questions start
you know,
coming through your mind the moment you're on the front.
well, Nathan, have you ever had a job or been involved with a team where you wonder if I'm not here, what happens? You know, that kind of mindset, right? Like if I'm not here driving the pace, do you guys do it
Well,
or
it's
do
the
you
school. It's
slack
the
off?
classics. It's the classic first
Right.
school projects you started doing. Then you have that situation throughout all of high school and all of middle school. Like, what was the role you
Group
played in group
dynamic.
projects, right? And were you the one who
Yep.
always did all the work? Like, yep.
100%, right?
The
And
slackers
I
show
mean,
up for the presentation at the end, don't really know what was happening, get a
take all the
grade
credit
still.
and
Those
then
are the
take all the
sprinters.
credit.
Yes, sprinters. What the heck?
That's your sprinter. Absolutely. But then also you could put who has the most pressure to win, that sprinter as well, right? The Mark Cavendish role. That it's so fascinating. It really is. And I definitely think that there's going to be a decent number of riders that are here to get an outright win. I mean, we've got Thomas Berry racing today. This guy is one of the best sprinters on Zwift. He
He's
makes
got to
over
be in the A
15
category,
watts.
right? He's in the A category,
Oh, he
right?
is A's. I'm
Okay,
sorry. You
no,
know what?
that's
I
okay.
jumped
Just double
around.
check. I'm just
Yeah,
double
yeah.
checking that he wasn't hanging out in the B category, because if Thomas Berry's
I
in
mean,
the B category, he's the favorite on the day, I think.
you know, we have Michael Milne in the B category out of New Zealand. He's on the 4-star team, Nathan. He's the same numbers. He's making 14.9 watts per kilo. His raw power is 1162. He only weighs 78 kilo. So, I mean, this guy is the proverbial wattage cottage.
I'm gonna be looking out for
It's
him.
so
See if we can find him out here. What was the last name?
Milne,
Milne.
Milne, out of New
Okay.
Zealand. Yeah, he's a huge sprinter, a huge talent, I should say. So that's in our Bs that we're talking about. We've got the Bs and the Cs that we've been following along with out here today. It's not long until we move into finale mode. Lap number 2 is they're well into it now, getting stuck in for. It's hard to imagine anything but a monster field sprint coming from this group.
This one's gonna be a hard one to follow, that's for sure.
It will be bananas, won't it?
Yeah, as they're making their way around here, it is only going to be another 5K or so. So we're getting right down to it. We're coming over by those piers again. I actually really like this course. That right-hand turn keeps things pretty interesting. Back in with Pearson here and head down over toward, I feel like we're heading into Yurikazi, but then we're going to take a right-hand turn. This is doing some of these roads backwards to what I'm used to for this
Have you
section
ever
of
raced
course.
it?
I
Have you
don't
ever
know if
raced
I've
Sleepless?
I think I've raced this once. I think one time we had this in the Legion series and I jumped into it way back. Maybe. I'm not positive even that, but I remember one time I was a part of this and heading this direction. I don't even know. Maybe I'm thinking of a different course that headed this direction. I mean, this is a rare one to see.
It's a seldom used course.
It
for
is.
sure.
Yeah, it is definitely seldom used, but it's a good one. And I like these little undulations, these little bumps in the road. 1% here, as you can see, it gives you some opportunity to ramp the speed up, but it is a pure powerhouses type course, crit type course. If you do want to get away, it's risk it all within a short period of time, being only 19K, Dave. You know, it really is about the slingshots and just being able to risk huge amounts of power and see if nobody else is willing, because they can if they want to a lot of times with these kinds of time frames.
Yeah, I hate to talk about luck in cycle. I don't hate to talk about it, but I mean, luck is not a huge element or factor in success, but it is an element. There's no doubt. And catching the wave of the sprint is going to be the luck today, like surfing. You're just going to have to be relying on a little bit of right place, right time in the last 500 meters. You want to be with the riders that surge and be in that slipstream rather than getting caught out on the wrong side of the road.
Good little call here coming in from somebody who most likely knows exactly what they're talking about, because yes, a sprint amongst these boys all the time. It is gonna be Ned
Our
Bowen
man
hanging out.
Ned.
Yeah, I wonder
Yeah.
if, and I don't know if he's typing N racing because he's in here a lot of times with these Bs, but he thinks Gianni Kuman is a good pick for the B category. We'll be watching out for Kuman. I recognize that name, so We'll see if he's going to be able to take this down. We've only got that sprint's only coming up here in about 3K, Dave. 3K, a couple more turns in this figure eights type sections of the course. We'll be coming right down to it. It is going to be that last time we came through that banner. It's a little bit before they hit the arcade. 3K to go, Dave. 3K to go.
Yeah, by the time you come out of the arcade, if you're sitting more than 15 wheels back, it's going to be game over as far as winning. I do want to reference again, it's about the GC stage time for the most part for these guys. I think they can check that box. This group has been really, really quick out here today. We'll see how it stacks up against the many other groups that are out racing today. But as we talk about the volume of this group, quantity is its own quality, and certainly the quantity here is significant. So, all right, Nathan, 2.5K to go. It's definitely going to be a field sprint in my mind. The speed, you'd have to be attacking it over 50 kilometers per hour to even get a couple of seconds, and then that's all going to be washed out as soon as you hit the arcade.
Big
there
kick
you go,
here.
This is the effort. I love that someone tries. Yep, that's it. He's been up there all day as well. So this is going to be it. Monster hit out right now. He's gone all in, just pushed all the chips in the middle of the table. As I said, he's going to need to hit 50 kilometers per hour to be able to get a couple of seconds, and that's exactly what he's got. So he's put 2 seconds in the bank, but right now it's like the police patrol is just sitting there, and they just turned on the lights. The lights are rolling now, and it looks like they're going to start getting ready to make the catches. We roll into 2K to go, and another attack, though,
RT
Nathan,
over the
it's
top.
going to be RT. Yep.
Over the top here. Nice one. 2K to go here, Dave, but he didn't jump on. He couldn't. Right. I mean, it's like, and you can see now that what they can do is put about 50 kilometers per hour, that kind of speed here on the flat ground. They can put that up for about 20, 30 seconds. And then all of a sudden it flips the switch and you start watching it go the other direction. Although this has gone out. He's not going to work with him.
Seconds now.
He should work with him. No. Is he going to work with him, Dave? Or is he just, okay, he's just taking the inside line. I think that's all he was doing
looking
there.
For a few meters. Yep,
yeah,
exactly.
Looks like here. Hindeman that gets on. It is 5 seconds, Dave. 5 seconds,
they still got a
4 seconds.
This group hasn't even started chasing yet. Once they do, watch how quickly this comes down. I mean, Nathan, that's one of the things that we've seen so many times, the heartbreaking moment when this peloton decides to engage in the chase. Let's see if they can hold them off. I mean,
they're fighting up ahead too, Dave. RT pulled over to the left like, come on. That was almost like an elbow. Like, come on, come through, and nothing. And now that they started fighting, it's over, Dave. It's down to 3 seconds.
That's game over. It shows you how hard it is not only to hold out this peloton, but to cooperate in a situation like this, because everybody's looking to get their own. And it's like, look, let's finish what you have of yours before we jump into my bag. But at this case now, it looks like they're going to make this catch. So go ahead, get ready. Can't tell you to hit it yet, but getting there. Reset button. We're going to be hitting it, Nathan, and it looks like we're going to have a group sprint coming in hot.
1K to go, a little less than 1K to go here, and we'll be watching for the first kick on the big numbers here. Coming on through, it is going to be Hindemith still hanging on the front now. Is it going to be Madrid, the Spaniard, to the front immediately? 400 watts, 6.7 watts per kilogram. Massive here, it looks like. No heart rate on it, though. I think you have to have an HR in order to actually take the GC efficiently. Yeah, so, but Sturgo home, here we go. 10 watts per kilogram coming from Pearson. Pearson ramping things up here, and you got to be at the front now. These are almost lead outs. Early lead outs. This is 500 meters to go here, Dave. They're going from way out. I think somebody from the pack is still going to come over the top, though. Goranson here, also the Swedish rider. Shorberg, watch out for them. Watch out for somebody a little ways back, I have a feeling, perhaps. Round the corner. Here we go. It's going to be Sergerholm. Nope, there's the kick here coming from Pearson. 14 watts per kilogram. Kuman is the man. There's the call out. Bowen knew exactly who to watch out for. The BZR rider. Gianni, nice. I mean, there's nobody anywhere near him. Different zip code, Dave.
Yikes. Gianni in full effect. So, wow, good call, Ned. Ned Bowen showing some serious analytical chops as well out here. Great racing today, as this one is done and dusted, with Gianni Kuman taking the field sprint, as the guys will be happy with the performance, I would think, Nathan, as this should be a good start for the month of November for their GC efforts.
That was pretty amazing there coming in from Kuman. And obviously he struck fear into the likes of Bowen and the rest if he's in times in the past, if he's caused probably still a little bit of trauma memory there. That's what that was coming from. Watch out for Koeman. I know that wheel.
This guy's a bad news bears.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we're in with the C category. Let's take a look and see if anything's happening with them toward the front end. We're into that 1K to go about, but we've got nobody off the front that I can see at this point. I think things are fairly calm. We are in with Nick again out of Sweden. He has been on the attack quite a few times. Gilner's there as well, making his way to the front, as you can see, OTT. Watch out. Any big names, though, I wonder, here in the C category with 1K to go that we should watch out for?
My man, Mike.
Mike?
Oh, yeah. The Nigerian Express, Mike Ade is the rider that I remember, I guess it was last week that the flag came up. All the awesome African flags in Nigeria. They've got an incredible national team kit, not only for football on the pitch, but for cycling as well, with that green and white kit. But right now, Nick doesn't care about that. He's going to show him his green kit off of the front and his green Tron bike. Is Nathan, he's taking it down to about 600-700 meters with the 3-second advantage. Peloton can't play around with that.
No, and we do see Anderson here from the Vikings team, HSK, making a move out of Norway here. Anderson now kicking across. That's most likely going to... Well, if he gets a gap, it won't be a lead-out situation, but I have a feeling there's still going to be a couple kicks, learning from what we saw in the C category. He's hanging on to 500 watts, 170 beats per minute, though, as we head through the downtown sections. Up and over the top, it's going to be Prop here from WKG. WKG over the top out of the Netherlands. Now Anderson fading backwards. Sanger, a couple more turns on the left-hand side of your screen. You can see off in the distance, there's the banner, and it's going to be Prop with the distance. They've got some distance here, Dave. I think they're going to hold on to the line. Nice kick. Oh, maybe. Ooh. No, it's going to be Smith again. Did Smith do it again? Did he do it again? He did it last week. The timing.
Paul Smith is legend.
Seriously,
I mean, this guy. This is the sprint king of the C's, Nathan. I mean, he was up at 13 watts per kilo in that sprint, even over that. This guy is a machine.
I love it, his timing every time, Dave. He did it last week. He tweeted it out actually afterwards. I'm not sure he actually pulled it off this time, but just the fact that he was there again in the same manner is just like so cool to see.
I feel like he did, just based on my hunch. Like Paul Smith just seems to be on a roll right now. Timing impeccable as we take another look at our C finale here. I certainly was with you, Nathan. I thought that the two riders had gone clear and were going to stay away, but it goes to show you that it's not over till it's over. In the world of esports, you never, ever count any chickens, whether they've hatched or not, just no chicken counting.
That's the rule.
You know what I'm saying? It's not over until the back-end API has been delivered.
There's no chicken counting.
No chicken counting.
I don't even know how to respond to that one. Watch out for the chicken counting. It's against the rules. Last a little bit of a sprint here coming to the line. This is for your top 100. That's how many riders are in here. Like this guy's sprinting for 100th place. They're fighting for it, right? There's still 80 riders, Dave. 80 to cross the line. Like, what? This is insane, the amount of riders who are showing up to this.
What is it about this format that has been so successful? There's absolutely the vibe of camaraderie amongst this group. I mean, just look at our chat discussion about how many of these riders clearly already know each other and have a solid friendship going. It's extremely cool. Like this is when people wonder, when you're talking about Zwift community. Well, this is a perfect example of that.
Jumping down in, look at this WG. This is NG. We got a different situation in this D category. We were able to find them here. And 1K to go. NTS, not too serious. They're being, I don't think their name makes any sense anymore because these guys are serious off the front.
Serious.
They're so serious off the front here. Eilander out of Netherlands and NG again. 2 riders, 2 seconds. Are they going to hold on, Dave? They got 800 meters. Quite a ways to the line here.
Yeah, and look at that group just stalking them right now. The mighty
Their
Tobias
teammate,
Lund is there.
their teammates making it happen. Actually, oh,
Uh-oh.
oh
Uh-oh.
no,
Drop
is that a
drop out
dropout?
there. Yeah.
Oh
What a bummer.
no. Unless he was just pulling BB here, their teammate just pulled. Well,
He
actually, their
might have been
teammate came over
trying
the
to set
top.
up his teammate. Arrow power
Yeah,
up.
I think they were working together. That's quite the cut. Look at that. Did you see that corner? That corner was seriously
Swift
cut there.
play
Yeah,
in
and then
full
look,
effect.
the
Yep.
right, the left now. I mean, what the heck? He's out of sight. This guy's
He
gone.
just Swift played them into a coma back there.
My gosh. William NG saying good
Man,
luck on the sprint. I think he was working together with them. BB threw everything down. He can roll
I
across
think
the
that
line.
was a
Chill. He's chilling.
like a
Look at this.
satellite booster. Yeah, he was just helping get his teammate up there, helping to launch him, which was successful. And
Arms in
that's
the
a done
air
deal.
and done. Yep. Oh, cross the line there right. The last second it was Vandenborg there out of the Netherlands, I think, in this D category. Man, this has
Nice
been some
job, Dees.
exciting final Ks here. I think that this has been a pretty cool
It's a great
course.
crit course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great. And it's really, I think all the corners create a lot of excitement in this one. If you haven't checked it out, this is going to be a fun month, I think, of Z Racing. You know, we've got plenty of these to come. Next week, we're in, where are we next week when it comes to these? Double check and see here real quickly. I've got a bunch of these cool little thumbnails that we had made by the awesome creative team here over at Zwift Community Live. Stage 2 is next week. Twilight Harbor for 3 laps, Arrow Draft, and Ghost. You know, Ghost is going to be an interesting one day. We'll take a look at some replays here in just a second. But on these courses, Dave, the disappearance around the corner, I wonder if that's going to play a role at all here.
I always look at the Ghost as being very, very helpful in the attack. I don't know that it has a sustainable benefit, but it does allow you that moment to get that half second to get those 5 meters that you talk about. So that's really where I see the Ghost being effective is it's a short term, but very effective power up when used correctly. But I don't see it having a sustainable run out, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make
It'll
sense.
get you the gap.
That's the main thing. I'm wondering if it'll get a gap on some of these corners, you know, out of sight, out of mind a little bit. All of a sudden, whoa, maybe not out of mind. Like suddenly they're around the corner, didn't know they're attacking.
See, the problem is exactly within 3 seconds they're around that corner, and then you know that advantage is gone. But you're right, you know, minute advantages, and yeah, in the spirit of competition, I like what the Ghost is about. It's an activator.
Real quick little look over at the B category and that finish line before we take a look at the actual results. I like these last couple of corners. It really changes things up a little bit about how you can attack this. You can't necessarily grab a wheel necessarily, but I mean, Koeman, he waited for the perfect timing. What is that? 200 meters to go, maybe right to the line.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more than 200. But the other thing I think is noteworthy is that Zwift play on a course like this is absolutely critical. It really is. I mean, you're going to be able to, in that last K, squeak out an extra second if you use your Zwift play correctly.
For some reason, we lost our replays aren't liking us at this moment. That's interesting. Back in
You know what I'm saying, though, Nathan?
Yeah.
That the Zwift play is almost a must-have at this point if you're going to be racing on a course like this with other racers who have it. You know, God be with you if you're going to race without it.
Yeah. Well, and I think it is definitely a big one when it comes to these corners. That's a great point, Dave. Actually, it's gonna be tough to get away with not having one at this point. So let's go ahead and take a look at
the more corners, the more bigger effect.
I mean, you can essentially,
I
mean, take a pretty good amount of distance off of your total distance. Actually, I mean, you have to travel less distance.
Well, yeah, you start adding it up. Every corner you can get 4 meters here, 8 meters on this one, 6 meters on that one. It doesn't sound like a lot, but all of a sudden that's 200 meters after 10K of racing. And 200 meters is 10 seconds, even more than that.
Let's see if we can bring in, I really wanted to take a look at this replay actually from the from the C category. They had a really great sprint actually.
I
To
want
the
to see
line.
that Paul Smith sprint again.
Yeah, that's what
Exactly.
I'm trying to bring in here. I think I've got it. Here we go. Yep, in the
Maybe
C
Paul
category. Here
puts
we go.
so much wattage out it killed the replay.
Well, I actually that was 100% production error. That was on me. I was wondering what happened there. Was that I just didn't record that input, and so they was just gone afterwards. So here we go. Look, from where is Smith? Prop WKG. I mean, he's not even in sight, Dave. Like he's all the way back in like 10th place, 10 watts per kilogram coming on.
And now, I mean, they would think that they're good to go, right? There's the finish line. We've got this. Look at the difference in speed. Wow. Absolutely incredible. That's Smith right there.
Does he have a play? He does have a play. He cut the corner. Look, do you see where he came on the corner? Did he do it? I can't tell. I think they just got him. I can't tell. We'll have to take a look at the results officially, but.
And again, back end API is that if for a photo finish, you've got to give it to the blue wheel.
Holy cow, it's right there.
Is the line at the front of the arch or the middle of the arch, right? It makes a big difference where that line is. When you have that kind of speed differential between your finishers, 1 foot difference between where the line is night and day as far as who your winner is going to be. That was
so close, though. Look at how close that is.
Well, but I mean, look at the difference as you run back. How far back they are at. That's 20 meters right there, and then, I mean, they're moving.
Look at where he at. Look at where he was at. Look, that's the moment really I'm interested in, though. Right there. Look at where he's at on that corner. I don't know if we caught it when he really cornered, but if you really take a look at where he's at on that corner there, you can see.
And look how further inside he is.
Yeah,
than
exactly.
The other rider.
Exactly. And, that is what I'm saying is like he is so.
And also,
far
how much further inside he is than these guys. The two that. Who don't have swift play.
Look, he goes left again to grab draft again and almost pushed the RWB rider out. Like, that was so
What's even more
crazy.
amazing is that he's able to operate his swift play while engaged in a sprint at 10 watts per kilo. Right there.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I wonder what his heart rate is because we have our heart rate on prop this whole time. He's really good at that. That's so fun to watch, actually. Let's see if we can bring in our D category as well. Here's BB. He was off the front here. And my question is, what was going on a little ways back from here? I mean, he's gone.
Well, his teammate helped set him up. So this was the launch here. These two got together. Got to think that this was a planned attack.
Yeah, do you think what was going on here? Do you think that perhaps they were forcing the other riders to make the chase and then BB just launches it? Or, I mean, that's a tactic, isn't it? That could have been happening?
It is. I mean, their team was all over the front here. They were forcing the chase, then they countered out of the peloton. This is going to be the winning move right now, and a well-played power-up as well. Having that arrow power-up certainly didn't hurt.
Everyone's just watching him at 500. I mean, they literally are just like, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, like what are we gonna do? I mean, O'Hare starts to ramp up a little bit, the Irishman, but I mean, he's just as gone can be. So I mean, what's the sprint behind here? Really, it's O'Hare with the ramp up, then Samsled's gonna be Jan Vanderbogart here. I think Vanderbogart ends up in second place, perhaps, but BB just takes this down for not too serious. NTS being a little bit more serious than the name suggests here. Behind, though, there was actually a guy on a TT bike, it looked like. I think this Devet, I'm not sure if he's actually on a TT bike, but all of a sudden he swaps, like it swaps him out to a TT bike. I think it's going to be Wallen here that ends up taking the sprint ahead of Llamas here, perhaps. But why does he swap to a TT bike? You see that? All of a sudden, I've never seen that before. He's on a Tron, and then as soon as they came out of the event, look, you see that? It's like an event swap.
Go back.
Watch, boom, goes to Tron, from Tron to TT. Like, what is that about? That's crazy. I've never seen that before. Huh.
Remain
Really
a great
interesting.
mystery for me. Yeah.
It's a good mystery for me as well. I don't know what was going on there. That was interesting. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at some results here. As we can use this as some replay. Let's talk about what happened in the A category here, though, real quickly. Joachim Leeson takes this down. Paulo for FX Cancer Team. He's in second place. This is all the A's first. Then it's going to be BR, followed up by Quentin Rufer. It's going to be BX there for the Dragons. Timon Kruger for the Dragons well in sixth place. Anton Verbai there in seventh. It's going to be John Verm in eighth place. Carlos Flores in ninth. And Michael Grenier, good to see G out there. One of my teammates actually from OMG showing up and taking down 10th place. 1.1 seconds back. Looks like it was a pretty separated sprint in that A category. I think across all of them, though, Dave, that finish section, I think, lends toward that, doesn't it, Dave?
Yeah, it really does. Joachim Leeson, one of the world's great riders as well. Good to see him out here. Let's take a look now at the Bs. And it was, as Ned Bowen called, Gianni Kuhlman taking the win for BZR Lions 1. And he's going to take a second advantage in the GC, the general classification battle. Johan Vestberg of AAC in second today. P.A. Pedersen, a teammate on AAC there in third. Dark Knight for fourth. Tom Rothman of RFTC in fifth. It's Peter Goranson of Team UV for sixth place today. Seventh went to Peter Van Vin, another BZR Lions rider. Johan Lantz of the Out team in eighth. Stefan Sandberg in ninth. And then Dan Manalo of OTR will round out our top 10 for the Bs. How are the Cs looking? I'm pretty curious.
Take a look here real quick. I want to, real quickly, there is some chat coming through that I just want to highlight. I did not know, and that's on me for not knowing this. They made the Tron an event bike. So these events actually, like you have an event kit, they made a bike specific for this event. Trons across all of them.
It switches to your bike right after the finish.
Yeah, whenever you have like a event specific thing, it switches
loaded
back
up
to whatever you had, prior to coming in. So interesting. Very interesting. Paul Smith, well, I mean, you're in Neokyo Sleepless.
So does that mean that if you didn't have a Tron bike, that you would have one for this event?
Yes. You get to ride it for this event. Yeah, it's crazy. So
that'd be the only time I've heard of folks getting a Tron when you didn't already have earned it.
I didn't think he did it, Dave. I did not think he did it. He did it. Paul Smith does it again. 27:18, and he does it by less than 2,000ths of a second here. 100ths of a second here. 1/6. Wow. I mean, right down to it there. Gregory Gout there, RWB, who was with him coming to the line, and he pushed him out with his plays, it looked like to me. I mean, if you saw the way he went back left, I think his avatar held back Gout just a little bit, honestly. Martin Parab here comes through for WKG. It's going to be Michael Sanger there for fourth. Ricky Lutton for the Nazgulls, who are coming right out of the Return of the King. Lee Thompson here, back pedal in sixth place. It's going to be Renee Peterson, DZR in seventh. Josephson in eighth. It's going to be Andres Grunberg in ninth. And Marius in for 10th. Marius Gilner was definitely one of the dangermen for a breakaway, perhaps, but that wasn't surviving on the day today. Great job to all of the C category riders out here. Let's go ahead over to the D's, Dave and BB with the breakaway.
All right, so it is BB taking the win by almost 4 seconds out here. Congratulations. That's a big one. Casper Wallen in for second, and Jan van den Bogaard for third. Kevin Devet in fourth. It's Henry Lamas the fourth of NZ Bro in fifth. Martin Putt for sixth. Trond Samslat for seventh. Manuel Racera in eighth. Paul M of the Mostly Psych team in ninth. And then Rob O'Hare is going to round out our top 10 for the D's out here today. And I don't believe there was an E category.
Yeah, I don't think so. We can take a look at it real quick. There's nothing over there.
Blank.
No,
Blankety
it's
blank.
Totally blank. Yeah, I don't think anybody enjoys jumping into the E category. Just making sure there's nobody.
Apparently not.
Oh, look at that. We've got a few that jumped in there. They just hung out for 3150. I'm not sure what the E category is. Is it a women's category? I don't think so.
Frederick would argue, I think.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what's happening over there with the E's, but good to see that they finished up their ride with their five riders. If you want 5 riders instead of 188, jump into the E category. That's where
you're not into crowds.
Yeah, yeah, you're what is the personality? If you're introvert, that's the introvert category.
Introvert
That's
group.
the introvert category for them. So, well, everybody, we've started off with a great Neokyo Nights, Sleepless City. It's been a lot of fun. I think a lot of crit action's going to be happening out there. It was 2 laps today for 19K. Tron bikes, it sounds like, are going to be across the entirety of this. I think it sounds like it would make a lot of sense. I mean, it's this Neokyo's lit up Tron like, so they're just trying to light it up a little bit more. Everybody's going to get one. So if you don't have a Tron, you get to ride one and race one. That's pretty cool to see. Let's go ahead and see what's happening next week. Again, we talked about it at the beginning of the broadcast a little bit, but next week we've got 4 stages for this. We're going to be broadcasting all of them. Stage number 2 is going to be Neokyo Nights, Twilight Harbor, 3 laps, Arrow, Draft, and Ghost. Next week, Monday, we will be broadcasting that same place, same time. It's already scheduled. Go check it out. We will update that over on ZwiftPower as soon as the event is ready as well. And we'll be back for BL13 tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. Excuse me. Wednesday. There will be no broadcast tomorrow, actually. I think we're going to take one day off for Tuesday, and then we're looking forward to ZRL. We'll be talking all things Zwift Racing League this Thursday on the Rap. Cy Bradley will be coming on. He's getting up real early for us, 5:45 a.m. in the UK. It's live at 11 p.m. our time, so great that we'll be going through all of the ZRL courses and starting up again for ZRL next week. Tuesday, we'll have coverage of the European as well as the Americas races. So be on the watch out for those getting scheduled here on Zwift Community Live as well. I'm excited for this month, Dave. We're ramping up again into Zwift Racing League.
Yeah, I can't wait. Season 2 is going to be awesome. I mean, season 1 really set us up for a tremendous vibe, great racing, and I can't wait to see what we've got to look forward to. I'll enjoy watching you guys on the Rap.
Yeah, we have a whole lot of people probably coming back into the World Zwift. If you enjoyed the broadcast, make sure to hit those follow buttons, subscribe, like, comment. We see all your comments. And if you have anything you want to reach out about, go ahead. Topics for the Rap, anything about the racing, we definitely check all of those messages. You can find us over on socials, myself, Dave, Anna, Zwift Community Live. We read it all, and we appreciate everybody hanging out. So thanks, everybody. If you want everything Zwift Community Live, head on over to our website. The podcast is over there, as well as the places to find these broadcasts. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. From Dave and myself, as always, right on.